Thaboxingvoice production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck yeah, Conor McGregor.
Boxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just hope the guy. I wish.
Boxingvoice.com.
What is up, Mixed Combat Radio family? Yes, the little sister network of the Boxing Voice. Welcome to UFC 219. Cris Cyborg versus Holm live fight chat. Yes, we're going to delve right into it. Obviously, first up is Carlos Condit versus Neil Magny. Fantastic fight. Neil Magny is walking to the cage right now, but first off, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the show. It's always great to be back. It's been a while since I've done a live show. The last episode or last show we did was a pre-recorded show on UFC 218, obviously on Max Holloway, Jose Aldo 2. And it's good to be back in the live chair, in the quarterback chair. No Nestor Gibbs. Yeah, Ness ducked the show. All you TBV fans out there, Ness was invited to the show. He ducked it. It's cool. Doomsday, Alex Lyons, I should say. Sorry. Diamond Glove champion out of New Jersey will be joining us shortly. But let's get into the shit. Neil Magny versus Carlos Condit. Carlos Condit coming off of 14th month layoff from his last loss against Damian Maia. And let's all be honest here. Carlos Condit on his semi good day beats Neil Magny every day of the week, right? I mean, we can all admit that. And unfortunately here, I think we may see a faded version of Carlos Condit. We may see a Carlos Condit that is a little bit gun shy, that a little bit hesitant to pull the trigger, maybe a little bit faded in a sense. His last fight against Damian Maia was rough. Let's all be honest. He looked suspect to say the least. And then he had a pseudo retirement. And let's be honest, the amount of wars that he's been in, would we be surprised if Carlos Condit's done and this is just the last attempt to come back into it and have some sort of success and have one last run because it's sort of all he knows because he's a fighter? Yeah, we hear that all the time. That may be what we have here. But, as always, he's in great shape. As always, I assume he has great cardio. Neil Magny is not this dominant wrestler, which usually has been the antithesis to a Carlos Condit. So I'm assuming we're going to get a little bit of a stand-up kickboxing affair between the two of them with some scrambles here and there. Carlos Condit may be able to latch up a choke. He may be able just to stay on the feet for 3 rounds, do his thing, maybe finish him late with a TKO, probably in the clinch. But I think we're probably going to see a 3-round decision for Carlos Condit. But that version of Carlos Condit to me is the most important aspect or story we should take from this fight and look at heading into this fight. Pittsburgh Brew in the chat saying Damian Maia is a nightmare to fight. He is like a human boa constrictor. That's absolutely true. But then we saw what Tyron Woodley did to him. Defended every single one of his takedowns and bloodied him up in the process. It's just a style thing. Damian Maia was the worst style for Carlos Condit because once Carlos Condit hits the ground, he wants to scramble. And once you scramble, you start opening yourselves up on the ground. And Damian Maia, being the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu talent that he is, he's going to lock that up. Brew, that's hilarious. Saying Carlos Condit looks like an older brother of me. Thank you. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I love that shit. And Neil Magny, who's somebody I haven't talked about yet in this fight, sort of the guy that has been the overachiever in every sense. He came from one of the worst seasons of The Ultimate Fighter. He was a guy that, in my opinion, we really didn't think much of. His first couple fights were kind of lackluster, a lot of heavy wrestling with little to no offensive output. And then all of a sudden he just exploded. And then he had this run. And, he had fights here and there. Obviously, he had losses that set him back and sort of reestablish our view of him as sort of a gatekeeper. But Neil Magny definitely is a formidable opponent here. I would say Neil Magny is no pushover, but style-wise, I think he's in the wheelhouse of a at least semi-good Carlos Condit, if he is not faded. Yeah, Neil Magny with that 80-inch reach, not advantage, but 80-inch reach and wingspan, I should say, is pretty incredible for a 170-pounder and a welterweight. That is not often you see that at even light heavyweight, for God's sake. Carlos Condit, I mean, if he, no matter what happens here, we got to start thinking about where he ranks in amongst all the welterweights in history, because he has a resume that can challenge a lot of guys. Especially if he wins right here. I mean, he could easily bounce back into the title picture if he looks any sort of decent shape and in decent form. That Woodley loss was very suspect due to the fact that it was ended via injury. It wasn't really ended via anything else. It ended via a blown out knee. I think a lot of people sort of discounted Woodley going into his title fight and such with Robbie Lawler based off of that. We didn't think highly of Woodley. When I say ways, I'm just speaking for the fandom, so to speak, the culture. We didn't think much of Woodley. And now I think our view of Woodley has definitely changed. It's going to be interesting to see if Carlos Condit can come in here and put on a performance. Round one is starting. Carlos Condit sort of feeling out on his toes. Good leg kick by Condit. Both guys trading leg kicks, feeling out jabs. This is the fight that it just could be. This little sort of kickboxing affair. Both guys on their toes, bouncing around. We may get that. Switching stances. Having sort of a hybrid MMA, Muay Thai kickboxing affair. That's probably what we're going to get. Wow, good trip by Magny off of a kick. Carlos Condit goes for an ankle. Magny is defending pretty well, defending his legs. But they are against the cage right now. It's going to be interesting to see if Condit, one, can do any sort of submission work off the ground that could potentially win him rounds. Because right now he's on his back, has Magny in full guard. He's probably going to be throwing elbows here soon. But he can often lose rounds this way. Controversially so, but he still loses rounds even though he's very active. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can adjust to this. Because Magny, is a decent wrestler. Condit getting back to his feet along the cage, fighting the hand grip, trying to break away and establish distance. Magny takes him down and rides him. I think Magny here is doing the smart thing. Pressure him via grappling. Just wrestle him. That is the Achilles heel to Condit. In the 15-year career of Carlos Condit, he's never been able to have, I would say, decent wrestling, or wrestling defense, I should say. And he's still suspect here. I mean, let's be honest. Magny needs to start level changing, start chaining his takedowns, going to single leg, going to double leg, high crouch guard, look for trips. Carlos Condit reverses position. Both guys fighting in the clinch right now along the cage. Carlos Condit needs to break away right now and establish distance and get back to a kickboxing affair. They break away. This is where Carlos Condit needs to be, and this is where the fight needs to be overall. Good counter right hands by Neil Magny off of a checked leg kick by Condit, or from Condit. Condit misses on a really bad right hand. This is good though, because Magny sort of picked up the pace in a sense, or established the pace, I should say. And now Condit has to adapt. And I wonder, we're talking about a fighter being, shot in any way. Even great adaptive fighters, once they're shot, they can't adapt anymore. Right hand by Condit, left high kick misses. But again, this is the fight that Condit needs. He needs this kickboxing affair. Carlos Condit a little bit hesitant right now to pull the trigger. I mentioned it before the fight. This is a concern, for a fighter that could potentially be a little bit shot. not pulling the trigger, being a little bit hesitant on the feet when he used to be, a lights out dominant Muay Thai practitioner. And Neil Magny, I think, needs to press the pace a little bit, but he also may be aware that at this pace he may win rounds, and if you start attacking Condit, you may sort of awaken a sleeping giant, because Condit, once pressured on the feet, does sort of liven up a bit, and I wonder if that's what he's concerned about. Condit, good combination by Condit, and a attempted flying knee to the body by him that misses. Good elbow on the clinch by Condit, again along the cage. Good elbow on the exit by Condit. Needs to do more of that. And again, this is first round back in 14 months, so this could just be, hey, I need to get my toes a little bit fresh. I need to get my feet a little bit wet, I should say. Just get my lungs a little bit fresh in there and get used to it again, getting that rhythm again. Good right hand by Condit and good leg kick by Condit. Sort of picking up the pace right now, and his accuracy seems to be getting there. Good spinning back kick by Condit, and a quick little flurry there at the end between the two of them. First round is over. That's a close round, to be honest. I slightly give that one to Neil Magny, but even then, that was a close round. I can see that one going to Condit, or being a 10-10 round, honestly. The takedown, while it did happen, I think there's numerous takedowns, I should say. There's 2 takedowns. There wasn't much done from it. And when they're on the feet, it was pretty even, though Condit was probably edging it, especially towards the end, because he picked up a bit. It might be a Condit round, but I think I'm giving Neil Magny 10-9, but that was close. That was highly close. You're right, Condit did finish that round strong. So that might sway a lot of people, and including the judges, and often that is sort of a tactic by veterans. You come on strong that last 30 seconds, you can often win rounds that way. Even if, let's say, that the first 4.5 minutes have been relatively close, and you may have lost those 4.5 minutes, but they were close enough to where you win the last 30 impressive enough, or just stylish enough, you could often steal rounds. Keith Thurman style, nah. And plus, that's been a tactic that's been used against Carlos Condit. Robbie Lawler did that in their fight. That was a highly controversial decision. So maybe Condit learned from that. Left hand by Condit misses, but he comes with a body kick that lands. Right body kick. Both guys start fighting for lead hand position. Magny catches that leg kick again and almost trips him. Left hand to the body by Condit. Kick to the leg, and then kick to the body. Steep kick to the body, I should say. Condit doing a little better right here. This is what I like to see. Him level changing, him throwing some feints in there. Him throwing that combination a little bit more. Him being a little more active as well. That's what I like. Plus, he's getting a little bit creative in there. That he's one of those. He's a rhythm fighter. He needs to be in his rhythm, getting a little bit creative. Magny with a right high kick, couple right hands on the clinch, and they push to the cage. Neil Magny needs to look for a level change right here and go for the takedown. Some good knees inside the clinch by Neil Magny. I wonder if he has his hands locked. I can't get a good look of it. Seems to be. I don't know why he hasn't level changed and gone for something. There you go. He goes for a trip. Outside trip. Has the back for a mere moment. Magny really excels, I would say, in this aspect of the fight. Though, 5 years ago, good suplex by Neil Magny right there, but Carlos Condit instantly going up for either an ankle lock or a knee bar. I think it's an ankle lock. What I was saying about Neil Magny, he often excels at that clinch work that's often pretty, ugly, kind of non-appealing in any way from an aesthetic standpoint. And 5 years ago, that was heavily given towards or credited to in terms of scoring. People often won 10-9 rounds doing that. Nowadays, a little bit different, but I wouldn't say that much. So he could potentially steal rounds the same way. Again, you have to how do you judge this round? Carlos Condit had some success in the first 30 seconds. The next 2 minutes so far have been Neil Magny taking Carlos Condit down, applying the pressure. Carlos Condit, failing at submission attempts. And these submission attempts aren't really getting that far either. It's not like they're deep submission attempts. Who do you really give credit to? It's not like Magny is necessarily doing much in terms of trying to finish the fight, but he's in control the whole time, relatively on the ground. Good combination by Condit and Magny, back and forth. Condit looking for that spinning back kick again. Slips those shots from Magny. Condit's subtle head movement. Oh, he just went for that spinning back kick. I said it. Leg kick by Condit. Ooh, good left hook to the body and a right elbow over the top of the guard of Magny. They lock up and clinch along the cage. Carlos Condit definitely needs, I would say, to press on the gas pedal just a little bit more because these rounds are getting close. And, we have, less than a minute left in the second round, 45 seconds left. I don't know who to give this round to. Again, it's the same round. It's the same round as the first one, arguably. If he gets another takedown right here, which he did, same exact takedown. Who do you give that to? Condit back to his feet already. Magny has the back. But this is what I'm saying. Like Condit is looking for scrambles right here, and that leaves him open for chain takedowns. That leaves him open for submissions potentially. Magny is not the submission expert that Amaya is, but he's able to capitalize on the willingness to go to the scramble by Condit by chaining those takedowns. And I think he's done a good job on capitalizing on that weakness that Condit has never been able to improve on in any way. I think that's another 10-9 round for Magny, unfortunately. I have Magny up 2-0. And I could see it 1-1 right now. I don't see this round being a Condit round. I just don't. I could be wrong. You may disagree. But the guy that was in control of most of the round was Magny. And Condit didn't do enough offensively in terms of damage or anything else to really establish anything. Carlos Condit. I wonder what Greg Jackson and Michael John are telling him right now. But they got to tell him, hey, you may need to finish this fight. And to be fair, Magny's corner should probably be telling him the same thing. But oh man, they're showing that Francis Ngannou knockout of Alistair Overeem again. Wow, man, that shit was insane. Make sure you check out that video that we did, weeks ago on UFC 218. We broke that down. You can see the entire knockout and fight footage of that fight on that video as well, if you want to see. If you want to see the knockout itself. Round 3 has begun. 4-minute and 45-second mark if you want to sync up. Condit, missing with these punches. Trying to throw some kicks here and there. Same with Magny. Side kick to the gut from Magny. Look good. Again, no one's really establishing any sort of dominance. Sort of, a ho-hum sort of fight in a way. I would still say Carlos Condit has some shades of being shot so far. I'm just gonna be honest. He's really not engaging at all. To be, he the way that we've seen Carlos Condit engage with Thiago Alves, even like a Nick Diaz fight, for example. You know, it was just different. You know, there was a game plan, a strategy that was evident from the start. I don't see that here. I see him just doing his thing. Good right hand by Carlos Condit right there, off Neil Magny, just leaving himself open when he came inside. That was pretty lazy by Neil Magny. You know, we've seen Condit, you know, for the Robbie Lawler fight. Look at that version of Condit. You know, this is not that version. He may win this fight still on points, because right now he's outworking Neil Magny on the feet. Good right hand by Neil Magny though. You know, Neil Magny's about to get an good right hand off of a picked up leg from Condit, off of a leg kick. Neil Magny has the back, looking for a takedown. And this is what he needs right here. If he gets another, you know, a couple takedowns, he's going to steal the round. Carlos Condit doing a good job defending right now. Right hand on the exit from Neil Magny. Right hand misses by Carlos Condit. I'm sensing a bit of urgency from Carlos Condit right now in the way he threw that shot. Hopefully he sort of steps on the gas pedal right here. Neil Magny throwing some combinations, good kicks. The reach is also bothering Carlos Condit. Usually he is the taller, lankier guy. With Neil Magny, no one is in this division. Good combination along the cage by Carlos Condit. Probably his best combination in the entire fight. Had some elbows and left hands to the body. Neil Magny stuck out his tongue and smiled at him. Ooh, Superman punch from Carlos Condit. Looked nice. Leg kick by Neil Magny. Scorecard's going to be all over the place for this fight. Because Neil Magny has definitely been doing the better striking as of the last, I would say, 60 seconds, I should say. Carlos Condit needs to step on this gas pedal. He has almost a minute left in this fight. Neil Magny is acting like he's winning on the points right now. I don't like that. Neil Magny caught the body kick of Carlos Condit, landed a good right hand. Spinning back kick misses from Condit. Good combination by Carlos Condit. Good left hook to the body. Attempted Superman punch and attempted spinning back kick by Condit. Misses both of them. Almost 30 seconds left in the fight. You know, he may win this round, but I have it 2-1 in that case. But, takedown from Neil Magny. Good right hands up to from the top position by Neil Magny. Both guys scrambling right now. Ten-second mark already hit. Fight's pretty much over. That last round was very close, just like all of them have been. You know, there is a feasible chance that there's a 2-1 scorecard to give the third round and the first round to Carlos Condit. I don't see that. I have it, you know, first and second round for Neil Magny, third round for Carlos Condit. But they're all pretty close. Let me know in the chat who you thought won that fight. You know, what your scorecard was. You know, do you think it's going to be a robbery? Do you think it's controversial? Do you think it's just that close that it's, you know, too many string rounds where it could go either way? You know, let me know in the chat. And remember, you can call in to the show on Skype at Mixed Combat Radio, and you can get on the show yourself if you want. And remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And remember, go to patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio to come support the channel. You know, this is sort of, like I said at the top of the show, this is the sister channel of the Boxing Voice. If you want to help support new media and online media, especially net neutrality, definitely go support on Patreon. Help keep the lights on. Thank you. And again, let me know who you thought won this fight. I have it Neil Magny up 2-1 in terms of rounds. First and second round for Neil Magny. Third round for Carlos Condit, 29-28. Good even fight. You know, no matter how you have it score, I think Magny should win. I still think Magny should win. Oscar Martinez saying Magny should win. Paulo Thomas saying Magny won. Narrow win. Yeah, I agree with that. Ooh, Michael Buffer right now. Or Bruce Buffer. 230, 27 scored. 27 scorecards. One 29-28. All for Neil Magny by unanimous decision. Right man won. I don't agree with those 30-27s though. But I can see how they think that. Let's be honest. All 3 rounds were close. Let's hear what Joe Rogan has to say.
How happy are you with this? Oh man, it's still on right now. It feels amazing. I think all you guys come down and watch this fight. I think for all my coach and training partners pushing to get this far. How much of the takedowns were in the strategy preparing for this fight, and how much of it was just what you felt in the octagon? So coming into this fight, I knew this would be super close, super even. I didn't know where to find an advantage. The first round, I realized wrestling was that advantage, so I kept going for wrestling. Well, listen, Neil, Carlos Condit is one of the best guys in the division. This is a huge victory for you. Where do you feel this puts you in this welterweight division, and what kind of opponent would you like to face next? Oh man, I feel like this point from right back to go face one in the top 5, so I'm ready to go. Let's kick 2018 off with a bang. Congratulations on an excellent performance. Neil Magny, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Condit came in number 8 in the world, Magny at number 12 in this welterweight division. These fighter stats brought to you by AirAsia. Now everyone can fly. How about that? Post-UFC alongside Donald Cerrone.
What is up, everyone? Yes, interesting. No Carlos Condit post-fight interview. It's kind of upsetting. I wonder what his headspace is. Cub Swanson, Dohoi Choi being, not pictured, but they're being shown in the crowd. Shout out to those awesome featherweights, very exciting featherweights. I would have liked to hear what Carlos Condit said. Neil Magny picking up the victory. Like I said, Carlos Condit could have been shot, and we could have saw a version of him that was hesitant to throw, that was gun shy, and that's exactly what we saw. I wonder where he goes from here. Like I said, he no matter what happened tonight, we should start thinking about where he places all time in the welterweight division, because he is up there. He has some great wins against some great fighters, and I think he is one of the most, going probably into the new generation of fight fans, post McGregor era, so to speak. He may be one of those that gets forgotten, unfortunately. So we definitely need to remember him. Definitely need to give him a shine. This could have been the last time we saw him. Let's be honest. And Carla Esparza versus Cynthia Cavallo is up next. Cynthia Cavallo definitely making a case for Fighter of the Year. If you want to make that case, I'm not gonna make it. I don't share that opinion, but I've heard others, and I see it. Esparza to me, another one of those Carlos Condits in a way that we could see a shot version of Carlos Esparza heading into this fight. And I'm curious as to basically what version of Esparza we're going to see. Because remember, there's one time that Carlos Esparza was recognized as the #1 female strawweight in the world. And, look at her pseudo decline. And I think at the very least, she is somewhere on that decline. I think it's almost irrefutable at this point that she is in the later stage of her career, it seems. And it's just a point of where is she? For example, Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler is obviously near the end of his career. Where is he at? We don't know, but he just took, a loss, a bad loss to a blown up lightweight. So now we're starting to think about that a little more, and we're going to get that with more and more guys and women of that generation. of that mid 2000s to 2010, 2012, that generation that was their prime. Yeah, a lot of those people are going to start retiring and falling off, and Carlos Esparza may be one of them. And see, the Cavallo is definitely one that the UFC and WME have been pushing, and I wonder where she is going to go, because I'll be honest, I haven't been the most impressed by her. I think she's a little bit basic, but she's very effective in what she does. I'm curious. I'm highly curious as to what version we are going to get of Esparza, and what to make of the hype of Cynthia Cavallo, because we have to admit this is her greatest opponent to date. So even though she may be the favorite at the bookies, there's some question marks about her. There is, does she belong at this level of the elite level? And then we can also start making question marks about Carlos Esparza, and does she belong at this elite level? So it's one of those great fights between a up-and-coming prospect and a longtime veteran former champion. So it should be good. Can't wait. Showing the face-off right now between the two of them. Carlos Esparza being the inaugural strawweight female champion in the UFC off of the Ultimate Fighter, which I thought was one of probably the last great seasons of the Ultimate Fighter. And great is being very relative. I'm using that term as loosely as possible. Let me know who you think in the chat is going to win this fight. If you listen to this on playback, let me know in the comment section. Who you thought was going to win this fight, and if you think I or the others are wrong. But I think Cavallo should win this. I think Cavallo should still. She seems to have enough of the hype to where I give her some credit and some respect, and Esparza has shown me enough of a decline to where I question her. And I assume that Cavallo should pull it out and get the W, probably via 3-round decision. Oscar Martinez in the chat saying, I want Esparza to win, but I think Cynthia will take it. Yeah, I understand that sentiment. I mean, Carlos Esparza is one of the genuine nice people in the sport. I don't think anyone has ever really hated Carlos Esparza in any way that was like an Angel of Magana, so to speak. I wonder really with this division where it goes. Who are the next sort of champions? Because Rose Namajunas, I picked her to beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk, so that wasn't as surprising. I felt that Rose Namajunas could have been that next foil for Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and that's what it turned out to be. Now, who's next? Who is going to be the next big female strawweight that's going to come out of the prospects? I wonder if it is Cynthia Cavallo. I don't think it is, to be honest. But I know some people that I thought she has Fighter of the Year, for example. So it's going to be interesting. Carlos Esparza walking out right now. We're going to be right back, by the way. We're going to take a mini break, and we're going to be back before the fight starts.
DBLC Productions.
Yes, we are back. Don't worry about it. I know some people were worried. It's okay. We're here. Fight's about to begin. Bruce Buffer giving the introductions to both Esparza and Cavallo. Esparza is a plus 180 underdog right now, according to the Vegas odds makers. I tend to agree with that. I'm actually surprised she's not more of a underdog, but I can see why there's probably some maybe late money on her. Excuse me, Pittsburgh Brew in the chat, the resident betting expert. Please let me know if you know if the odds were different, maybe a few weeks out, maybe a month ago. If they're a little bit more farther apart and there's some late money on Esparza due to her just being the more incumbent fighter in the division. I wouldn't be surprised about that factor. Cynthia Cavallo, a minus, was a 280 favorite. I missed it. She definitely seems to have, that's going to sound weird, but like a charisma, like a natural, like just charm. And that may seem weird, but there's common people that have that. And then that may be the reason why they push her. Maybe they see that in her. When you saw, I mean, mention people, not saying that she is the same level of charisma as them, but you saw that in a McGregor. You saw that in a John Jones. You saw that there was some natural, X factor there. Cavallo seems to have that. Esparza coming out with a good 1-2. Oh, both women throwing hard leather first off the first bat. First 15 seconds, already been some flurries thrown. I like that. Definitely a big difference in terms of pace and speed compared to the men's welterweight division. Cavallo lands a right hand down the pipe as they both exchange right hands, but he was able to slip Esparza's and land her own. Both women feeling out with their lead hand, trying to establish that range. Esparza, those are 1-2 misses, but lands a leg kick. Both women exchange in the pocket. Cavallo seems to get the better of it. I'm surprised Esparza has not, gone for level change already. And it's Cavallo that goes for the level change and gets the takedown. Interesting. I was not expecting that at all. And to be honest, she wasn't losing the stand-up. It was competitive, but I maybe she saw it and it was open. She just ducked, level change, grabbed the double leg, and secured it. But, now she's in a half guard trying to establish side control. I like that. Plus, she has a heavy top control right now, really pressing on Esparza. Almost has side control. She could get out of it right now, potentially. The legs were split there. She could have got out. She's basically out of it right now from the looks of it. Esparza's trying to land some right hands from the bottom, but they're not really effective in any way. They're more annoying. I wonder what Cavallo's trying to set up here, trying to just get high control. Trying to clamp that leg down with her knee. Land some elbows. Cavallo having a very heavy top control right now. Esparza seems to really not be trying to get out of it either. She's going for a little bit right now. She reestablished full guard right there. But she could have kept going. Again, going for an armbar right now. From bottom. I wonder how tight it is in terms of her arms. The clasp in her arms. Cavallo doesn't seem that worried. Oh, wow. Esparza almost has it. Oh, she let go. Cavallo got out. Good attempt by Esparza. That was a relatively deep armbar. It may not be super deep where she was close to tapping, but she was close to getting locked in there. Cavallo in side control right now. Esparza's landing some elbows from the bottom. Cavallo needs to start landing some of her own ground and pound. We've seen Esparza wilt under pressure. Good knee to the body by Cavallo. I wonder what the strategy is here from top. Land shots or is it work to position, secure submission, and then execute? I wonder what it is. Good elbow from up top. Esparza trying to use the cage to get out. Almost got out, but Cavallo sort of just threw her back to the ground. There definitely is a strength difference between the two. That is apparent. Good ground and pound by Cavallo right now. This is what I want to see. Esparza trying to get up, trying to get out, but again, Cavallo just throws her back to the mat like a little sister, honestly. Landing some hard ground and pound, trying to establish a rear naked choke, but misses and rounds up in the full guard. Well, not in the full guard. Esparza rounds up in the full guard of Cavallo. Now standing up, landing some shots as the round closes out. Good first round. Obviously, a Cavallo round just because she dominated, 4 minutes of it. But that was a really good round, especially that first, minute or so, that last 30 seconds. And plus the almost, submission armbar by Esparza. There was some good action in there. Definitely a high pace. Cavallo's ground game was impressive to me. I wonder if she can keep that same energy in rounds 2 and 3. They definitely have the ice on their back. That she's sort of sitting over a little bit. That's concerning in terms of cardio. I wonder how she can handle this elite pace, being there with a top 10 fighter for the first time, and going 3 hard rounds. This was a hard round. Being on top like that and establishing your will in that manner does take something out of you. It does. You guys in the chat are awful. I hope you all know that. Your mothers and sisters would be ashamed of all of your locker room talk. Round 2 beginning 4-minute and 50-second mark if you want to sync up on the podcast. Cavallo, looking just massive compared to Esparza and in better shape, to be honest. Esparza looks a little bit soft, to be quite fair. Good jab by not Esparza, by Cavallo. I mean, Esparza on the outside, trying to work some shots, trying to dart in with a combination. Not really effective though. Ooh, good right hand counter by Cavallo as Esparza comes in with her own. She's caught her with that again and again, I want to say. Leg kick by Cavallo. Glances. That right hand has been the moneymaker for Cavallo on the stand-up so far. Yeah, you sick animals in the chat. You guys kill me. I hope you know that. You guys kill me up here. Right hand by Esparza. She escapes out that side door, reestablishes distance. I wish they were both just let go because they're actually both decent boxers, to be honest. Good right hand by Esparza. Good right hand by Cavallo as well as Esparza leg kicks her. Almost took the balance out of her. And here she goes for a takedown again. Oh, a little Stockton slap. Oh, Cavallo. Oh, you just found the way to my heart right there. I'll be honest. You Stockton slap anyone in a fight, you are automatically a G. Let's be real. Man, she's pimp slapped her, man. That was awesome. Right hand by Cavallo down the pipe off of a combination from Esparza. Again, man, that right hand is just there. And it seems to have a little bit of pop behind it. If she's willing to exchange a little more, maybe get a little bit of better defense, throughout her career, she can be a pretty effective striker going forward. Knee to the body as they clinch up and they break away. You can tell the pace slowed down a little bit. But when they do throw, they definitely throw back at each other. They throw mid combination. They throw, at least 3 punches. Cavallo defended a takedown from Esparza right there. I think that was one of the first legit takedown attempts by Esparza, and it was sloppy. It was from the outside. There's no setup at all. Yeah, Esparza, another one of those fighters on this list tonight that's been, sort of shot. You can tell. Her wrestling has definitely not been the same. Almost like Dan Henderson. Carlos Esparza is low key like the Dan Henderson of the strawweight division. No one wants to say it, but I'll say it. I don't think that no one wants to say it. I may be the first one that said it, but she definitely has that vibe. Oh, good little takedown by Esparza right there after I was giving her some shit. I stand corrected, but Cavallo easily gets back up. Maybe I don't stand as corrected, but that was a little good ankle pick right there. That was good. I like that. I think that Cavallo definitely slowing down. That's a concerning factor. And she has a takedown attempt that just was lazy and wasn't set up for anything. She had the clinch. She could have stayed there. Maybe she feels like she's having success on the feet. That's probably why. I would assume that she's feeling that right hand's landing. Oh, Esparza landing another single leg. Throwing a few punches and a leg kick as Cavallo gets back up again immediately. I wonder how the judges are going to view this round because, on the feet, Cavallo just landed another right hand. Cavallo has chewed her up with these right hands this round. And I don't see the striking in any way going towards Carlos Esparza. And you have these 2 quick takedowns. Ooh, Brew, get your bias ass out of here saying that was 1-1, man. Come on, Brew. I know you have a bet on it and you want to draw, but it's a 3-round fight, bro. Come on. I give that round to Cavallo still. I'll be honest. I don't think Esparza did anything with those takedowns, unlike, let's say, a Neil Magny did last round, or last fight, I should say, or something Cavallo did in the last round. So I have Cavallo up 2-0. Brew, you bias ass. Timothy Brunel said you're better than Howard Cosell. You're probably joking, but thank you, man. I appreciate that. Remember, go patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio or the Boxing Voice, whichever one you want to support. Support me. I'm better. Round 3 beginning any second now. Cavallo running around over there. I don't know why you're doing that. Don't waste your energy. Round 3 has begun. 4-minute and 53-second mark if you want to sync up on podcast. Good 1-2 by Cavallo again. That 1-2 has just been, first off, technically sound. It's been straight. It's been hard. It's been authoritative. She needs to keep throwing that, mixing in a leg kick here and there. But I think she's worried about throwing the leg kick based off the takedown. That may be it. Ooh, good right hand by Cavallo as Esparza lands a couple of her own. That's the thing. Esparza's probably thrown more, and I wonder if you never know what the judges are looking at. But the judges so far have been good. They got the last fight right when that one was highly close, but they got the right one right. So hopefully they get this one right. Cavallo goes for a takedown. They clinch up along the cage. Paulo in the chat saying Cynthia has a nice hand. She does. She definitely does. Her boxing looks improved. It looks sharp. She needs to add a couple more punches, a couple more combinations in there. She can get a little bit predictable. Luckily, though, let's be honest, the women's strawweight division, the level striking is very shallow unless you get to the Jaceks, the Fleece Herrings, the Carolina Kowalkiewicz, and now Rose Namajunas, obviously, because of what she showed in her last fight. But other than those names, really, I mean, you can get away with this almost. But if she wants to get to that upper echelon level, that A level side of the division, she's definitely going to need to add some more stuff. Add a little more kickboxing game to it. Maybe add some standing elbows as well. A little more Muay Thai would be good. You said some, Paulo said in the chat, some uppercuts would be good. I agree. But the one thing with uppercuts, you have to set them up right. And it's very common for MMA fighters to throw a strong hand uppercut with no setup shot and lead with that. I've seen that a lot, and that's a concerning thing. If you can do it right. Oh, good Superman punch by Esparza, and a little bit of a combination right there. But a little more fluidity as well, a little more combination, because she's a natural combination puncher. You can tell she naturally has that. Also a little more body work. I haven't really seen that at all. Any body work. Pittsburgh were saying Joanna and Thug Rose would murk both these chicks. Yeah, of course, but I don't think anyone is saying that Cavallo at this point can go beat them. No one is saying that. Let's be honest here. But she's looking good right here as a 6-0 prospect of facing a former champion, a veteran in the game, and Esparza. She's looking good. Even though Esparza, is a little tiger in there, man. She's throwing hard, and she's throwing a lot of hands. She's throwing at a higher pace and a higher volume than Cavallo is at times. That's concerning that she may be losing this round based off of that. But I'll be honest, I've been talking to you guys more than watching this round. And that body work, like I said, like if she establish a little more of a body repertoire, she would look more like a Kelvin Gastelum. Because she's almost that shade of a boxer puncher in the new age of MMA, where she can sort of do everything. But obviously at a much more limited level just because of a 6-0 prospect, et cetera, et cetera. 1 minute left in the final round. Esparza trying to get some takedowns, but Cavallo easily defending them. Ooh, good combination by Esparza right there. Esparza throws at some weird angles. You have to give her credit for that. Offensively, her boxing game is decent in terms of combination punching. But defensively, God, Esparza's bad. But she got a takedown. Man, Cavallo just spun her right over, got up. Right hand again by Cavallo. Cynthia's chin is being tested. Good point. Yeah, because Esparza's landed some shots. If you got a weak chin, you're going at least down, or you're getting at least hurt by something of this, right? Maybe not knocked out, but you get hurt, and that would be a question mark. But nothing. She keeps coming forward too. Esparza probably won this round. Oh, good combination work by Esparza there. That was a great final, 10 seconds, 15 seconds right there by Esparza. Wow. Shout out to those girls, man. Pittsburgh Brew in the chat. Give me that draw. Brew. This is why you shouldn't be betting. You biased. I have it 2-1 for Cynthia Cavallo. But really good fight. And it was a little pick-me-up from the first fight. I'll be honest. That first fight was kind of depressing in a way. Condit losing. Condit's always been a fan favorite. Even for a Diaz brother fanboy like myself. Condit's always been awesome. Let's be real. He's always been fun to watch. Kind of sad to see the version that we got in the fight that we got, which was a little bit ho-hum. This fight was good, back and forth, competitive, fast, entertaining. Some good technique on display as well, especially the ground game. There's some really good groundwork being done by Cynthia Cavallo. That's hopefully doesn't get overlooked. Offensively, she was on point, especially when her cardio was there and she had a full tank. But even defensively, I mean, she easily defended the takedowns of Esparza. And when she was taken down, it was a boom, flipped over, boom, back on her feet. It was simple as that. We never saw her really on her back for any extended period of time. We saw her land, to me, the harder shots, especially in the first 2 rounds. I think she easily won a 29-28 scorecard sort of decision. I don't see a win for Esparza in any way, to be honest. Oh, let me give you guys it so you can hear.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Carla Cookie Monster.
Oh wow.
I'm here with the winner. Very happy, Carla Esparza. Carla, you took on a girl who is undefeated and one of the up-and-coming stars in this division. You showed why you're a former champion, and you showed some real good improvement in this fight as well. How happy are you with your performance?
I am ecstatic. I'm so happy. I worked so hard for this fight. I knew I was going to have a tough opponent, and I'm just glad I got the W.
You Come on, we're not gonna give you this time. We're not gonna give you the shine. You didn't win. Come on. What did I just see? What did we just see right there? Was that a robbery? Was that just a controversial win? Like what? That was pretty bad in my opinion. I thought that was a clear cut 29-28 scorecard sort of win. I mean, Pittsburgh Brew in the chat saying, "How is that not a draw? Get the fuck out of here, homie." I think that was as close to a robbery as you can get without being called a robbery. If not, it was a robbery. Let me know what you thought about that in the chat, in the comment section. If you're listening to some podcasts, hit me up on social media, whatever. Let me know what you thought about Cynthia Cavallo versus Carla Esparza and the decision. I thought that was pretty, wow, ridiculous. Cynthia Cavallo was landing the better shots, the more effective offensive output was from Cynthia Cavallo in the first 2 rounds. She easily dominated the first round. The first round is a clear Cynthia Cavalli. You had to put that out of the equation. Third round is probably easily a Carla Esparza round. So what comes down to the second round? And again, that round, it was purely done to the striking. And Carla Esparza was throwing a lot, not landing a lot. And Cynthia Cavalli still had enough in the gas tank to throw enough and land enough to win that round. Wow. That was bad. Oof. What do you think in the chat? I see a couple wows. Fuck man. From Pittsburgh Brew. Oh, but you just complain about the bet. Let's be real. Yeah, let me know. What was your scorecard? Wow, that was just ridiculous. Mark DeCassi, I think is how you pronounce his name. Fuck, I forget. 10-10 round 2. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. You hate 10-10 rounds. I know you hate 10-10 rounds. Get out of here. Yeah, I really don't care about the next fight. Daniel Hooker versus Mark DeCassi. I think Hooker might come off with an upset. I'll be honest. I think a lot of people are sleeping on just his durability, what he can bring to the table in terms of just overall talent and ability. It's not the highest level, but it's very decent at the least, I would say. That might be an upset, Takashi definitely seems to have some hype around him. It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting to see what happens next. Showing a little promo for Jeremy Stevens versus Dohoi Choi, which is going to be a fantastic featherweight fight. I cannot wait for that. Yeah, I'm really curious as to what version of Dohoi Choi we're going to see in that one, because when he was just outclassed by Cub Swanson, it was kind of a huge step back in terms of the hype and the train, so to speak. When is the main event? Timothy Brunell saying in the chat. We have this fight coming up, so it's the 3-round fight, 15 minutes, but you have to add another probably 5 to 10 minutes of promos and cage walk and everything like that. You have another one, so it's another probably hour. You have probably another hour till the main event starts. So yeah, probably around midnight. 12:15, 12:10 maybe. It's probably when the main event will be starting. So if you want to skip out, hang out with the girlfriend or wife, and then tune back in for the main event, you can gladly do that. But Jeremy Stevens versus Dohoi Choi, fantastic fight. I cannot wait for that. And the featherweight division is just fantastic overall in all of MMA. Bellator has a great featherweight division historically. Japan historically has had a great 145, 135-pound division. Obviously, it was a little bit different over there because it was in kilograms. But historically, though, that weight range of 125 to 155, you get some of the best fighters in the world in some of the deepest divisions. And they can do everything. They're the most athletic, etc., the fastest. So we all know that. Jeremy Stevens, Dohoi Choi, that's violence all over it. Vitor Belfort versus Uriah Hall, Paige Van Zandt versus Jessica Rose Clark, and Kamaru Usman versus Emil Meek. That's January 14th in St. Louis, Missouri on FS1. So don't forget about that. And I'll obviously be doing something for that. Not a live fight chat, because I think that is the... Ooh. Is that the same night as Earl Spence, Lamont Peterson? Someone help me out in the chat. Is January 14th that same night? Well, that's a Sunday. No, that can't be that then. I must be tripping. Yeah, Vitor Belfort, Uriah Hall. I love that fight. I think I'm highly intrigued by that fight. That's competitive. That's a fight that you're gonna see someone get knocked the fuck out potentially, and probably a first round knockout. Mark Hooker versus Mark DeCassi. DeCassi, right? Spence Peterson is the 20th. Thank you, Brew. I knew I was tripping on that. This is one of those matchups that maybe some casual fans may not know that much about. But for us hardcores, this is a great fucking matchup. And the winner of this could potentially, be a title challenger in the next, 12 to 18 months. That's a realistic possibility. Because the winner of this fight is getting a big fight with a name, with somebody that's a mainstay in the division that people know about. The Emil Meek fight, I believe, was DeCassie's last fight. That was impressive. That was highly impressive. And they're trying to knock out right now. Oh, gosh. That's one of the knockouts of the year, let's be honest. And Red Mohawks, that has a long history in MMA. So salute to him. Dala DeCassie. Oh, that's so funny, Pittsburgh Brew. That's hilarious. That's pretty good. That's hilarious. Daniel Hooker with some great knockout footage as well. Oh, that step-in knee that knocked out Ross Pearson. God. Oh, that was brutal. Man. Should be a great fight. And obviously, the co-main event, which maybe I think a lot of people that are listening right now are probably most excited for, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza. Yes. Let me know what you think about that fight in the chat, in the comment section, on social media. I'm very curious as to your opinion on that. Because I'm probably still torn about it. I'll be honest. I have a pick on it, but man, it is close. It is a close fight to call for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons aren't really boxing related, unfortunately. But it should be good. I can't wait to see it. That is probably the fight, and maybe just because we as fight fans love Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib is one of those people that he has that it factor a little bit. Even though the language barrier is a little bit different, he has it. He definitely does. But we got another fight to talk about right now. DeCassie versus Daniel Hooker. Let me know your pick. Yo, Brew, why you? Yo, spoiler, Brew. Come on, man. Giving the chat who I'm going to pick for the co-main. Thank God on podcast, which most of the people that listen to this are on podcast. Shout out to everyone on iTunes. Go to iTunes, subscribe to the show that way. I'm gonna pick the show back up a little bit more. I'm gonna start making it a weekly thing. I know it's been asked for a long time, and I'm gonna do one more thing. I know. I do a lot of things for the Boxing Voice, but I'm gonna add not only one weekly show for Mixed Combat Radio that is for free, but one on Patreon as well. Patreon has been a great source of just a little, added bonus revenue. When bills need to be paid, to have a little extra money helps. Trust me, it does. So I'm always very gracious for all the Patreon supporters that listen to this show. So I will be coming back. So next week, I'm going to be starting that. 2 shows for Mixed Combat Radio per week, one for free, one on Patreon. They may be covering the same thing. They most likely will not. So definitely check that out. And obviously, to find me, if you're probably listening to this, to find me at theboxingvoice.com or The Boxing Voice on YouTube as well. That's sort of the flagship, mothership of the network, the TBV network, so to speak, the TBV empire. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Yo, Pittsburgh Brew in the chat kills me. Everyone on the podcast, y'all need to start listening live. Not only for this, but for also like the Boxing Voice, because the YouTube live chat is always lit. The YouTube live chat is always great. You guys always crack me up. Even the haters and the spammers and the trolls, you guys are perhaps actually the best. Let's be honest. You guys are hilarious. But we have the fight coming up against Daniel Hooker, against Mark DeCassie. Please let me know who you're going to pick in the live chat to win this fight. I like DeCassie to win it. I know I said Daniel Hooker, there's some upset here. But I'm going to go with the hype train. I feel it. Red Mohawk, Jason Mayhem Miller, with all that he's gone through, I got to channel that, That was one of the first gyms I've ever trained in, was a Jason Mayhem Miller gym that he trained out of. So salute to him and just red mohawks in general. He really didn't have a red mohawk, though. He just had like a red stripe in his hair, but I'll count it. I'll count it. I mean, the red mohawk is really like Dan Hardy. Let's be honest. Yo, shout out to Doomy Lemieux, hashtag Alex Lyons, or hashtag Alex Lionass for being late to the show. He said he will be here for the co-main event because, you know, he's a casual. Shout out to Ness, not be on the show. Good times. Remember, hashtag Board Awards, January 16th. If you don't know what that is, go to patreon.com/Thaboxingvoice to learn all about that. Remember, you can find this show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Facebook as well. The full show is uploaded as well to Facebook, Mixed Combat Radio on all platforms other than Twitter. And Twitter is Mixed Combat News. But to be honest, that's more of a personal account. That's not really like a official only this channel account. I definitely do other stuff with that. Alex MAI Lionass. Ha! Good one. Good one, Brew. Oscar Martinez says he gotta go with Hooker. I understand completely. Definitely both guys could be that guy. It seems like a James Vick. You know, one of these guys could be the next James Vick, so to speak. That goes from the prospect to contender status overnight. And it could be this fight. First round has started, 4-minute and 45-second mark if you want to sync up on podcast. Takashi switching stances a lot. Hooker trying to attempt a steep kick to the body. Takashi catches it. Very unorthodox style from Takashi. Almost obviously shades of like a Michael Venom Page. But that's just a very common style, I would say, right now. That very floaty, you know, karate, taekwondo, heavily influenced, even like point karate or point kickboxing influenced style. You see that a lot now. You know, especially with, you know, a generation of like Prince Nassim's and Zab Judah's and that style of fighting overall. And then you have these guys growing up in their 20s now. Yeah, they're definitely influenced by those guys. Yeah, if you want any betting advice, hit up Pittsburgh Brew on social media. Low-key associate producer of the show. Both guys sort of just feeling each other out right now. Really nothing has landed. We're about to hit the 3-minute mark in the round. Exchanging leg kicks. Nothing's happening right now. Joe Rogan saying that no one's establishing dominance. No one's doing anything right now. Come on, Takashi. Come on, Hooker. Do something here. One of you. Overhand left by Takashi. Misses. He's throwing that front kick to the knee of Hooker quite frequently. Oh, spinning heel kick. Misses from Takashi. Neither guy doing anything right now. I'll be honest. I wish I can commentate on the fight, but nothing happening. Takase looking very flashy, but not effective in any way, shape, or form. About a minute and a half left in the round, and nobody has landed anything of note. Oh, good right hand up from Takase. That might be the best shot landed in the round so far. But yeah, nothing impressive. Wow. Body kick from Takase. He's really targeting that front leg of Hooker, and especially the knee of Hooker. Gonna be interesting to see if that has any effect later on in the fight. Takase grabbed a leg, attempted a takedown, but missed. Does it again. Lands a right hand, though. Takase might win this round slightly, but only because of these late shots that he's landed. And there's only been, what, 2? And really only 1 that was clean. Takedown from Daniel Hooker after Takase attempted his own. That might be enough to steal the round. Might not. That was a very close and uneventful round. Wow, that was boring. Huh. Who do you think won that round? Everyone in the chat, everyone in the comment section, let me know. The first round of Daniel Hooker versus Mark Takase. I have it. God, I mean, you could have that 10-10. I was getting Bruce shit for that earlier, but come on, that could be 10-10 easily. I think that's probably a 10-9 Takase round, but oh gosh, that was ugly. That was ineffective on both sides, uneventful, anticlimactic. Philo Thomas saying Dan won round 1. I'm assuming you do that based off of the little to no action on the feet and just the takedown at the end, right? Let me know why you give Dan that first round. I'm curious. Same with if you give Takase that round. I give it just because the 2 right hands were the only effective offense, really. The takedown was, in my opinion, not effective. Nothing was done with it. And plus, I hate like the last second takedown. That's for nothing. I hate that shit. That should not win you round just based off of that. Takase seems a lot more aggressive heading into the second round, to 4-minute and 40-second mark if you want to sync up. There was a lot of boos at the end of that first round. Oh, overhand left from Takase. Hooker needs to start throwing a little more combinations. He's throwing single shots, looking for counters. Maybe that's his overall strategy right now, but he is not. It's hard to win rounds that way, especially with these types of rounds on the back foot, not doing anything. Takase is the one that's throwing combinations, throwing hands, landed an uppercut and a overhand left hand. Much more active round for both of them. I wouldn't say much more, but good right hand from Daniel Hooker. Takase goes for a takedown. Hooker defends it, pushes him up against the cage. Plaster God in the chat saying, "So nice to see you back, Matt. Thank you for coming back." Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I know it's been a while since I've done a live chat. It's been a bit. Remember, you can always call in if you want to call in, talk to me, and be on the show. You can add me on Skype, Mixed Combat Radio on Skype. You have to add me as a friend first. Do not call. You have to add. Okay, and then we can get you on. I missed what happened. Did anything happen in that last like 15 seconds of talking? It doesn't seem like much. Both guys on the feet looking at each other right now. DeCassi landing some leg kicks. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the round. Look, almost landed that right hand again. That's like a piston right hand right there. Takedown from Hooker, but a little bit of a transition from DeCassi, but he failed to capitalize on it. And Hooker reestablished his position. DeCassi can stand up right here. Stand up. Stand up. You're about to get locked up. Come on. Hooker has the back of DeCassi along the cage. As Joe Rogan said, he has that left hook in. Now he has the right one in. Almost has the body lock, body triangle lock. He's going to look for that rear naked choke. With a minute and 45 seconds, he has plenty of time. If he can just stay in this position, work that grip until he gets it, you know, he could have it. Come on. You got to do something here. Land some punches. Make him react and make a mistake. If you're Dan over here. DeCassi's doing a good job fighting the grip. That's what he should be doing. He's completely ignoring the legs, and he knows he can just ride this out for a minute. I can't believe the ref just said you need to work. He has his back. You don't stand anyone up if they have their back. Just like you don't stand anyone up if they have full mount. Stop it. It's your job to get the fuck up. Good shots from DeCassi. Oh, he spinned out in the full guard of Daniel Hooker right now. Good way to get out of that dangerous position. 10 seconds left in the second round. I obviously a Daniel Hooker round. I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen in the next 2 seconds that's going to change it. Going 1-1 into the third and final round of the fight. Let me know who you thought won that round. I feel like it's pretty obvious, but let me know who you thought won that in the live chat and the comment section. Definitely a uneventful overall fight for both men. Anticlimactic, I would say. For both guys to get the hype that they do, they're going to need to come in with maybe a very explosive finish in this third round to save. Not say the hype train, but keep it chugging the way it's been, I should say. Yeah, Paulie Thomas having, you gave the first round, to Daniel Hooker. So, yeah, you might have it 2-0 right now. That is true. That first round was highly close and, God, just an awful round. That was one of the worst rounds of the night, I would say. Shout out to the UFC, always telling us that they will punish people for using their video. Trust me, I know that. Check out the last video we did for UFC 218. You can see the full knockout footage and fight footage of that event. DeCassi being very aggressive right now, looking for a big punch, big overhand right hand. Oh, land is a good right hook, left hook combination. Hooker's tough, though. You're going to need a lot of those to get him out of there. Attempted takedown from DeCassi, but guillotine attempt by Daniel Hooker, and he tapped. DeCassi taps to Daniel Hooker. Man, why did he go for that takedown? He was winning the stand-up. That was such a bad move by DeCassi to to go for that takedown. There was no need for that. He was winning the stand-up. He was teeing off on him, and he goes for a lazy shot on a guy that's been the better grappler in the fight. Bad move by Dikase. Daniel Hooker gets the guillotine submission victory in the 3rd round. Salute to him. You know, was he the favorite of the underdog? I think he was the underdog, right? I'm gonna start playing this song when like underdogs win, you know, because it's their moment, you know. Shout out to Daniel Hooker, man. Great guillotine win, guillotine submission. I love that submission. As a guy that used to practice jiu-jitsu, you know, way back in the day, guillotine was one of my favorite submissions to do. When you pull off a nice guillotine, and I know it's one of the most basic submissions, but when you pull off a nice one, man, there's nothing that feels better, especially the way he does it. You know, a guy shoots in for a takedown, you grab it, and you lock up that full guard, you twist around, get the right angle, and you sink it in. That and a good armbar. That and a good armbar you can never beat. Let's be honest. Especially a belly down armbar. Belly down armbars are fucking awesome. I'm assuming you guys want to hear the post-fight interview of Daniel Hooker, so I'll give that over to Joe Rogan and co.
I'm here with the winner, Dan Hooker. First of all, Dan, congratulations on an excellent victory over a very dangerous guy. It was a lot of touch and go early in the fight. What do you want to say?
First things first, Sean, Dana, UFC Perth is in 6 weeks, and I won on that card. Who wants to see me fight again on that card, huh?
You're immediately looking to get back into action, but this fight was interesting because Jacasey's very dangerous. You used your reach well, and the opportunity that presented itself in the 3rd round when you were having the wild exchange, you locked up a beautiful guillotine.
Yeah, well, I won the first, won the second, and finished him in the 3rd. I don't think there's any more you can do, you know.
Let's take a look at this guillotine. He shoots in, and as he shot in, you immediately slid that forearm underneath the chin. Talk us through this here.
That's just one of my chokes, man. I've got a few wins with that. That's my 2nd in the UFC with that choke. You gotta watch your neck around me.
We definitely do. Dan, congratulations on an excellent performance. Dan Hooker, ladies and gentlemen.
That guy can finish a fight anywhere it goes. He's never been knocked out in his career. He's never been finished in the UFC.
What up, fam? Man, just really, really impressive performance. Brian Ortega and Volkan Ozdemir. Shout out to a good friend of mine, Blake. I'm sorry, I forget your name. Forget your last name, Blake. For the Loaded Joe's MMA podcast, they invited me on one time. He's good friends with Volkan Ozdemir, and they have a ton of interviews with him, ton of content with him. So go check that out on Facebook. I think you can only find it on Facebook. So go to Loaded Joe's MMA podcast on Facebook or iTunes, especially on podcast form. But go check them out. Volkan Ozdemir facing Daniel Cormier, and their little beef is great, man. Like, it's so cute in a way. You know, like, they're back and forth, and DC, you know, what was it? Volkan Ozdemir posted a GIF of the gay couple in Game of Thrones and added Daniel Cormier, and this was like, "This is you and Khabib" or some shit. And DC quoted a line from Game of Thrones. It was hilarious. Like, the build up to this has been humorous. It's been like whimsical, I would say. Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou, Daniel Cormier, Volkan Ozdemir, Calvin Kattar versus Shane Bourgois. I know Shane, by the way. Jean Vellante. Oh, who else is on the card? Hold on. Let me rewind it. Shout out to my remote not really working. Jean Vellante versus Francimar Barroso. And Thomas Almeida versus Rob Font. I love that fight. Thomas Almeida versus Rob Font is a fun fight. But those two, the two title fights alone, that's all you need. DC versus Volkan Ozdemir and Francis Ngannou versus Steve Miocic. That alone, let's be honest, Steve Miocic versus Francis Ngannou is perhaps one of the best heavyweight fights since what, Kane versus JDS 1. You know, in terms of two guys in their relative prime, you know, one of them undefeated, you know, like it's arguable that this is the the next great heavyweight title match that we've been missing for so long. So, you know, just salute to both those guys for getting to this position. And Francis Ngannou for just changing his life around, man. He was, I mean, the story of him is just incredible. If you haven't heard it, there's tons of articles, tons of pieces about it. The Countdown Show did a relatively good job covering it, and just overall his story, truly incredible. And the way he's adapted to MMA so quickly is prodigy level. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's here. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza. Yes, the co-main event of UFC 219. Wow, I'm hyped for this. I mean, I mean, Khabib is one of those last guys that is a specialist on the ground that doesn't really work submissions. That's just ground and pound. That's just about willpower and pressure and control that galvanizes the fan base in a way. We didn't have that before, I feel like, in a long time. You know, people hated on GSP for doing this, but you know, Khabib does it in a different way. Like that was shown against Michael Johnson. He was saying like, you have to give up. You have to give him a shot as he's beating him up and demoralizing him. You know, the way Khabib is on the ground is otherworldly. Luke Thomas has done some excellent breakdowns of Khabib and what he does. He did a really good interview, I believe, with Daniel Cormier. They broke down Khabib and his overall wrestling skill and talent and what he likes to do. It is on another level. There, you can make an argument that there's no one like Khabib right now. But then you look at Edson Barboza. I mean, he's maybe the best pure Muay Thai kickboxer in MMA right now, or at least in the UFC, and especially in this division. I mean, the way he lights people up, the way he is so fundamental in what he does, and the way he's changed up and adapted his game and really improved on it, and become more fluid and adapt more boxing centric combinations. He has evolved his striking game and made it more complete and more round when it was once kind of predictable, to be honest. Even though he's always been very fast, very strong, very powerful, and his kicks have always been incredible, he has been a little bit pattern based. And that's why in maybe earlier fights, we see other guys being able to take advantage of him and be able to beat him. But man, Edson Barboza has continued to improve, has had some tight, close losses to some great competition as of late. You know, I'm not gonna say he's in his prime, but he's definitely either towards the, you know, he's definitely in the later part of his prime, I would say, or just out of it. And stylistically, he's gonna give Khabib some issues. Khabib does struggle with some strikers, and he does get tagged frequently. His defense is flawed standing up, and we've seen him get hurt. And if there's anyone that can hurt, that can, you know, get you hurt, it is Edson Barboza in this division. You know, one flying knee, it could be over. You know, that is what potentially we have here. But then again, Edson Barboza is one of those guys that can wilt under pressure. And you know, if Khabib gets a early takedown, especially in the first round, he could just set a pace that Edson Barboza can't match, and he gets drowned out of there, perhaps even early. But we have to mention that Khabib has had a long layoff, and even though he has dealt with his weight cut for this fight extremely well, we have to make note that he has had weight issues in the past. So that is of concern. That is at least question marks to bring up. Whether or not you give them any credit is up to you. My pick in the fight, I'm picking Edson Barboza to win by TKO or knockout, or in the first or second round. I just see I see Khabib biting a little bit too much to chew when he should took a soft touch. Should took a little bit of a softer touch, to be honest. But let's be honest, man, it's Khabib. If he goes in here and just trashes Edson Barboza and talk shit while doing it, and then cuts a awesome promo afterwards, are any of us going to be surprised? No, I don't think any of us are going to be surprised. You know? Yo, I can't believe Nestor Gibbs called me, like, on air. Like, I'm pretty sure he knows I'm on air. Nestor Gibbs trying to interrupt and sabotage the show. Just kidding. Just kidding. Khabib is one of those guys that if he just wins this fight, he could instantly be mixed in there with a Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. You know, those are really the names that we want to see him with, right? Like we don't. Yes, Pittsburgh were in the chat saying Wilder and Ortiz is official. Yeah, well, we knew that was gonna happen, man. We knew that was gonna get made. 2018 is gonna be massive. I agree. 2018 is gonna be a really good year. I think we're gonna see a bounce back year for MMA, especially. You know, MMA has had a down year in the sport, so to speak. Not so to speak. That's just been numbers. And you know, boxing has had a great 2017. I expect that to continue. There have been a few pockets in the first quarter schedule of the boxing schedule, I'll be honest, where it makes me go, oh, I don't know about that. MMA is stacking up the first quarter schedule. That makes me highly interested to see what the dynamic is. Because usually if one sport has a good, boom year, the other one kind of doesn't. You know, it's very rare for both of them to have boom periods at the same time. Though it does happen. It can happen. I can't say it doesn't happen. But it's not as frequent as maybe some may want to say. Both guys in the cage right now. Bruce Buffer reading the announcements, doing his MC job. Pittsburgh Bruce saying, damn, Barboza won 5 straight as the underdog. Yep. He's a plus 245 underdog right now. Khabib from Dagestan. Wow, minus 315 favorite. Wow. Oof. Man, Vegas loves Khabib, man. Let's be real. Vegas loves them some Khabib Nurmagomedov. The Eagle. Who do you think is going to win this fight, guys and girls? Do you think it's going to go decision? Do you think it's going to be an early night for either gentleman? Let me know in the chat, in the comment section. That's right. Shout out to Nurmagomedov. His wife delivered a baby boy today. So salute to him. Salute to his wife and their family. Another question mark for a fighter, you know. You got the birth of your kid. Oh, good leg kicks by Edson Barbosa. Pumping the jab out right now on the back foot. I love it. Good inside leg kicks from Edson Barbosa. Trying to land some good punches right now as well. He whips on a huge right hand. Khabib definitely pressuring him. Not cutting off, not really throwing, you know. Like, I wish he was to be throwing a right hand. Goes for a takedown, but misses badly. But you can tell he's looking for that. Oh, good head kick by Edson Barbosa. Oh, good right hand from Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's got a hold of Edson Barbosa. Looking for a level change. Looking to create some sort of a takedown opportunity along the cage right now. Edson Barbosa must be getting worried. We're at the 3-minute and 45-second mark if you're on the podcast trying to sync up. Edson Barbosa gets out of there. Whew. That's huge. Huge confidence booster. Good left hand to the body. Good kick to the body by Edson Barbosa. Good leg kick by Barbosa. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. But he needs to throw a little more hands, though, in my opinion. Oh, flying knee attempt by Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, does Vegas have odds on who's going to throw the first knee? Takedown by Khabib. Wow, this could be it. I know I picked Barbosa, but I could be wrong, guys. Good elbows by Khabib. 3 minutes left in the round. Oh, good ground and pound. God, he is so willing to exchange on the ground, and his ability to create space without losing control is sublime. You know, I'm not even equipped to try to analyze that aspect of the ground game. I'll be completely honest, but just his ability to do that, create distance, still keep the pressure and control that you need to keep your opponent where you want him to be on the ground and deliver hard shots. That's a very hard thing to master in MMA. Very few people have done it. Khabib could be the best at that. 2 minutes left in the round. Khabib just doing his thing. Trying to get full mount right now, looks like. Oh, good right hand from up top. Wow. Yep. He has him at full mount, as Dominic Cruz just said. Barbosa looks like he's almost done and wants to quit. Full mount again from Khabib. Wow. Amazing ground and pound. This is, I mean, Khabib hasn't missed a step. Let's just say that right off the bat. Wow. Twists him around. Just full mount again. You know, this is sad. This is sad to watch. We're seeing a man quit right now. Oh God, those elbows from Nurmagomedov. This is straight out of a horror movie right now. You know when you see like a big brother by like 5 to 8 years beat up on a little brother and just be mean about it? That's what we're watching right now. Oh, I don't know how Barboza can have the mental state to want to enter the second round. God. Amazing right hand from Nurmagomedov. Wow. He looked fantastic. Wow, Barboza is slow to stand up. Wow. That was brutal to watch. Khabib just did not care about the strikes of Edson Barboza. He almost ran him down. You know, he didn't even throw really to get the takedown. You have one of the best strikers in the division, if not the best pure technical striker in the division, and none of his shots affected him in that way that you would think. Wow. Wow. Truly impressive. Second round about to begin. Yeah, Big John McCarthy's looking at Edson like, "Hey, are you sure you want to fight? Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, we can just stop it, you know? Like, it's okay, man. Like, I don't think anyone is going to be mad at you for saying, "Hey, I'm good. Peace, man. Like, I'm going to get my check and get the fuck out of here, man. I'm about to get beat up bad by an angry D'Agostini, man. Come on." And one thing is the cardio. That's something I'm very curious about for Nurmagomedov. He can get a little bit gassed out and a little bit sloppy up from standing up. You know, like good jab from Nurmagomedov, but he can get a little bit sloppy and wild in there. Joe Rogan saying he got beat up so bad in the first round, he may not know where he's at right now. Yeah, that's completely true. Edson Barboza looks off. He looks like he's done. Looks like he's just in there surviving. We're about to see another 4 minutes of punishment. Nurmagomedov has him tied up along the cage. He's looking for a takedown. He's probably going to get it. Wow, Nurmagomedov just beating him up in the clinch right now. This fight isn't even close at this point. Edson Barboza's all cut up now and swollen. Barboza gets out of the clinch, but spinning a wheel kick by Edson Barboza misses. He has to just stick to his boxing. If you're Edson Barboza, you just start throwing hands and hope to get him off of you, and hope that you land some sort of shot upstairs or downstairs that has him going backwards instead of coming forward. Oh, good right hand by Nurmagomedov. Going for a single leg right now. Edson Barboza gets taken down by Nurmagomedov. Single leg takedown. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the round. Nurmagomedov's about to really start hurting him. As half guard. Has him pressed up against the cage. Laying some punches right now. Khabib just establishing a position right now, not doing much. Trying to get full mount. I think he established it. Camera angle's awful right now. Barboza looks defeated. Nurmagomedov is beating him up. It doesn't look as bad as the first round. There definitely has slowed down in terms of pace. You can tell. Nurmagomedov's probably smart for that. Save your energy for the third round. Try to finish him there. Just wear him out this round. Be on top of him. Make him carry your weight. But Barboza's just not doing much here. He's not doing anything to get out. He's not really doing much to try to stand up to his feet. And he's doing something right now, trying to just walk up the cage without really fighting for anything, but getting eat with some shots right now. Nurmagomedov's about to take him back down. Yep, there he goes. Lazy attempt to get back up to his feet by Barboza. Gets taken down again by Nurmagomedov. Good ground and pound by Khabib. Good left hand. Good right hand. Damn. God, that end of the second round. Not as dominant as the first round, but still vastly dominant. I mean, you're talking about almost 10-8 rounds at this point. But yeah, two rounds for Edson, not Edson Barboza. 2 rounds for Khabib. Sorry, and Edson Barboza needs to really do something different here. But he doesn't look like he's mentally in that state right now. He looks completely mentally drained and defeated. I can definitely see a third round finish for Khabib, similar to the Michael Johnson fight. AKA saying, tell Dana you love him. Oh, that's great. Khabib and his whole team are pretty humorous. I will give him that. They're pretty hilarious. I can't wait to see a press tour between him and Conor McGregor. That would be highly entertaining. Barboza trying to establish some sort of a distance right now. Not having much success. Khabib looks a little bit slow right now. He doesn't look as quick to walk him down. This may be the round that Barboza can get back and do something in. Oh, Khabib lands a 1-2 on Barboza, landing some hooks. Drops for a takedown along the cage. 4 minutes left in the final third round of the fight. If you want to sync up on podcast, I would say let me know if you have winning the fight, but let's be honest, we all know who's winning the fight. Let me know if you're as maybe surprised as me at how easy it's been from the beginning of the fight. That to me has been surprising. Even Michael Johnson had more success in the first round of their fight than Edson Barboza. That to me is shocking. Let me know what you think about that. Both guys are jockeying for position right now in the clinch along the cage. Khabib, occasionally landing some shots to the leg, to the body, to the face. Edson Barboza just defending, just surviving. It's getting to one of those points of the fight where it's sort of becoming predictable about what's going to happen. And almost a little bit anticlimactic. Khabib, I'm very curious about how his cardio holds up in a 5-round fight at this pace, doing this amount of work, this amount of output grappling, and just overall striking. It's a lot. It's a lot of output. You know, and for a guy that has had cardio issues in the past, it's something to be a little bit concerned about. Both guys break away and start exchanging on the feet. Establish a similar cat and mouse sort of pattern. Oh, spinning back kick from Barboza. Pseudo lands. And Nurmagomedov just sort of takes it and just keeps walking forward. Wow. Quite impressive chin display there by Nurmagomedov. That spinning wheel kick 100% landed. And Nurmagomedov gets the takedown, drags Barboza to the mat from the clinch along the cage. Probably going to ride him out for the last minute and 30 seconds of the fight. Pittsburgh Brew in the chat, very upset that Nurmagomedov did not finish Barboza in under 2.5 rounds, according to the betting odd. Shout out to all you bettors out there for getting caught in your feelings. Oh, God. Nurmagomedov's ground and pound is just demoralizing, not only for his opponent, but like it makes like me demoralized to watch in a way. And that may sound very harsh, but I mean like I feel the pain of Barboza with how hard some of these shots are. You know, and how constant it is, and how dominant it is. You know, it is just, you can see it just sap the energy and will from Barboza from a very early point in this fight, and it continued to do that. Wow, Barboza just getting lit up with left hands on the cage, trying to get out of this this grip, and he does. He's back to the feet. 20 seconds left. Can he do anything with it? Both guys throwing leather. 10 seconds left in the final round of the fight. Barboza throwing with everything he has, trying to land something, and Khabib just walking him down, doing his thing. End of the round. Easy 3-0 decision for Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle. Let me know what you think of that performance in that fight. I thought it was a dominant performance by Khabib, and he definitely put on a impressive enough performance where he's back in there. He's back with the Tony Fergusons, with the Eddie Alvarez's, the Conor McGregor's, the Nate Diaz's. You want to see him in there with those guys. Absolutely. That was a mauling. That was absolutely downright a beating. That was impressive. That was impressive. Kudos to you, Khabib, and to all of his future opponents out there.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yes, hide your kids and hide your wives, because man, Khabib is just coming in here and murking people, man, just dominating them and making them look like rank amateurs a little bit. I mean, he made Barboza look worse than Michael Johnson. That to me is very surprising. Control time is 10.5 minutes on the ground. Wow. When you think about that, that's over 2 complete rounds of this fight was on the floor, and he was on top controlling. Damn, that was very impressive. Salute. I'll turn the mic over to Bruce Buffer and obviously the post-fight interview with Khabib.
Not just picking and choosing what lands heavy, they all are. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a vast nationwide 4G LTE network. Here's Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 30-25, 30-25, and 30-24 for the winner by unanimous decision of being the Eagle,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the winner of beating Nurmagomedov. What a performance here tonight against a guy who many people thought would be your biggest test inside the octagon. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
First of all, I want to say thank you for God. God is number one. Other things is nothing. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Today, I was like, my son is born. I say, congratulations. Thank you so much. I hope you guys understand my English. And thank you so much. Well, 25-0. You know, without injury, I can fight with anybody. Now, if UFC give me 1 hour rest, I can fight one more time with Conor or Tony. That's no problem. I feel great. This guy is one of the, you know, like he's the best, one of the best striker in UFC today. I fight with him 15 minutes, but to be honest, I can finish him. But I want to feel all 15 minutes because my last fight was like 1 year ago. That's why. Thank you so much, all team. It's not for everybody, all this team. Thank you. Thank you for my father, Coach Javier. He's the best. He's the best. He's like my big brother. He's like father for me here. Thank you so much. Come here, Coach. I love this guy. He's a real Mexican gangster. Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah.
Khabib, this fight cements you as the most dangerous contender by far in this talent-stacked lightweight division. With the 2 titles tied up right now, with Conor and with Tony Ferguson as the interim champion, give us your thoughts on those 2 men and where you fit in this division.
I don't think about these 2 bullshit guys. I think about only me. Next fight, next fight. If you have to tell me, hey, what you want? I'm gonna say Tony Ferguson because he's 10 win streak in lightweight. I'm 25 win streak. I'm undefeated all my career. Tony Ferguson. But about Conor, I don't think because he has a lot of money there now. He has to spend this money. After when money is finished, I think he's gonna come back.
After this fight, there can be no denying that you're one of the most dangerous men on the planet Earth.
And I wanna say thank you for my whole team, Eagles and me. Большое спасибо. Большое спасибо, которые мне долгое время помогают. Я один много живущий. Моим отцу, всем моим друзьям, братьям, кто были со мной. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much.
Congratulations on an overwhelming performance. Khabib Nurmagomedov, ladies and gentlemen.
Nurmagomedov's exactly right. Focus on himself. The fights will happen.
Yes, Khabib always being always dropping a great promo, man. Always saying the right shit and being hilarious. He's pretty good. He's pretty good on the mic. I mean, he is the Triple G that is like humorous, that has some character, that has some, you know, a little bit of a mean streak in him, and it, you know, verbally as well, not just like in the cage or in the ring. He could be a little bit of a star, you know, waiting in a way. If he gets the right wins, you know, stays in there for a bit, you know, he's so good on the mic, and I think he is so good at what he does that you can't deny the skill and the talent there. You can't. You absolutely cannot deny it. We're going to take one last final break before the main event, but don't worry. Before the main event starts, we'll be back. Don't even worry about it. Remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the show, tell a friend and tell a friend. We'll be back in a bit. Yes, we are back. We are back. Main event time coming up. And before we get to anything that's MMA related, obviously this UFC is brought to you by Bright, which you can see on Netflix. What do you guys think of that fight? Not that fight. Yeah, fight's on my mind. What do you think of that movie? I just saw that movie today, to be honest, and it's, it was a decent movie. Everyone was giving a lot of hate, a lot of shit. Thought it was kind of entertaining. For as much hate as it got, I don't think it deserved that much hate. Just wanted to say that. Get my piece out there. Man, Cris Cyborg versus Holly Holm. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about this fight, what you guys think about the style matchup, everything. Who you guys are picking. I love this fight. I think it's one of the best female fights in MMA history. Too bad it did not happen, let's say, right after Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey. Like in a hypothetical world, if Holly Holm had beat Ronda Rousey, then moved up to 145 and fought Cyborg, that would have been insane. But I don't know. I think this fight has sort of lost some of its luster because of the amount of losses that Holly Holm has suffered so far since the Ronda Rousey win. Let's not forget Tina Shevchenko, Jermaine Duraname. Like, she's had some issues with some elite strikers in MMA. And Cris Cyborg is another elite striker. She's going to face similar issues as she had with other fighters. The one thing that excuse me, that Holly Holm, the one thing she does that really upsets me is the amount of throwaway shots she does throw. A lot of the shit she puts out there is just shit, like it's not very powerful, it's not very meaningful. A lot of little leg kicks, a lot of little jabs, side kicks. It's a lot of little things that aren't really powerful. And any elite striker that has dealt with being like it their whole lives, like a Jermaine Duraname or like a Cris Cyborg, can walk through that and deliver some punishment and deliver some heat. And I think Cris Cyborg is going to be able just to wait on the outside, come in and out on her toes a little bit, and be able to counter those little tiny shit shots that Holly Holm puts out there. I think that's what we're going to see. Or we could see Holly Holm put on another masterful, counter-striking performance on the back foot and eventually light up Cyborg. We could see that. We could see a point decision. We could see a war. We could see a lot of things here. We could see Cyborg even get the takedown, work the ground game. And, in my opinion, Cyborg's ground game is light years better than Holly Holm. So I would assume that Cyborg would get the better of her, get the best of her in that realm. We could see a submission win even. In the fight with two really great strikers, we could see a submission win here from Cyborg. Absolutely. Let me know who you guys think is going to win this fight in the live fight chat. If you're listening to this on playback, let me know who you thought was going to win going into this, obviously, in the comment section. Let me know if you thought Holm was going to win or if Cris Cyborg was going to win. Please, give me your opinion. Voice your opinion. Get the voice of the people. Holly Holm has definitely sort of become a star, though. There's one thing that cannot be denied is that probably her, out of everyone that has faced Ronda Rousey, has gained the most from facing Ronda Rousey. Maybe Miesha Tate, just in terms of length. But, I mean, Holly Holm got the biggest pop. Obviously she beat her. Miesha Tate did not. But, Amanda Nunes didn't get pop, but they really didn't push Amanda Nunes the same way they pushed Holly Holm after that Ronda Rousey. Remember, she went the fucking late night circuit. She went on, Jimmy Fallon. She went on all those shows. That she went the late night circuit. I don't think Amanda Nunes has ever done that. Let's be honest, they could totally use the fact that Amanda Nunes is the first LGBT champion in UFC history. They could absolutely sell that in Hollywood in the late night circuit. Absolutely. But they don't. It's kind of weird. Cris Cyborg walking out to the cage as we speak. I am supremely excited for this fight. I love Cyborg fights. And plus, Holly Holm and just the style clash and the matchup. You have a pressure fighter with outside fighter. That's always great matchups are from that simple, basic concept. You have an outside guy and a guy that likes to be on the inside, or in this case, females. That is always the best matchups, in my opinion, because it creates conflict. There's natural conflict. Cris Cyborg, man, one of the best female fighters of all time. It's interesting because Ronda Rousey's career for fans, especially casual fans, has declined so much. Even though I don't agree with that decline in terms of perception, I think Ronda Rousey is still obviously a top 3 or 4 female fighter of all time. But Cyborg's in that mix too. You throw a Cyborg, man. There's the pioneers like the Fajudis and the Modafferi's of the world. I don't count those, to be honest. I'm sorry. But the Cyborgs, the Rouseys, the Joannas, those 3 right there, that's all you need. Those three alone have been the best female fighters of all time. What they have done in their respective divisions has been unprecedented. It's always funny when you hear Joe Rogan almost cuss on air. He's almost in podcast mode. Holly Holm being 36 years old, another storyline no one is talking about. You know, Holly Holm is relatively towards the end of her career, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that are thinking it's the smart, intelligent, clever pick to pick Holly Holm. I don't know. I'm not riding with that. I got Cris Cyborg. I think Cris Cyborg is eventually going to finish Holly Holm. I think Holly Holm is a little bit too old. She's been in some tough fights, and whenever Holly Holm has faced a fellow elite striker, she has lost. Look at her resume. When she's faced another elite striker in MMA, she has lost. So I don't know. I see Cris Cyborg being able to deal with whatever and Holly Holm throws, be able to walk through it, be able to land her own shots. I see her basically being able to, like, almost like a Earl Spence way, like walk forward and counter. You know, to walk forward, you know, wait for your opponent to throw a shot, and then just step that little bit extra space on the outside out, boom, and then come back in. Or you step in at the right angle so that you can deflect the kick or whatever it is and deliver your own shot, tie her up, take her down. You're going to see maybe a little bit of a slower paced at first. It's going to almost look like they're feeling out, you know, each other in a way and seeing what the range is. But eventually, Cyborg's going to be able to counter. Cyborg's going to counter Holly Holm and deliver some punishment. I think Cyborg's going to probably win within 3 rounds. I mean, people forget that Shevchenko and Jermaine Duraname had hurt Holly Holm. And let's all be real, Cris Cyborg is a completely different type of power, of force being thrown at you. So I think it's really hard, I think, to pick Holly Holm to pick Holly Holm here. A win over Betch Correia does not do it for me. That's not an instant, hey, you're back in it, man. Just because Betch Correia has a nice ass doesn't mean I care that much about her. Doesn't mean I think she's a great fighter. I'm sorry. Get over it. Minus 360 favorite for Cris Cyborg. I'm not surprised at those odds at all. Surprised there's not a bunch of late money, though, on Holly Holm. I know the odds were a little bit changing. I mean, Brew were looking at that. I'm surprised it wasn't more, though. I'm surprised there wasn't more people thinking, look at all this money I could get from Holly Holm winning. Pretty good crowd right now, it looks like, in the T-Mobile. Can't really see the upper deck, but the lower deck seems, you know, relatively filled out. You never know T-Mobile, especially around New Year's, you know, what sort of crowd you can get. It's going to be very interesting to see what the pay-per-view buy rate is for this event. It's going to be a huge gauge on Holly Holm, Cris Cyborg's star power. Holly Holm tries to jab over Cris Cyborg. Cris Cyborg lands a left hook. Tried again. Holm lands the jab. Ooh. Roundhouse kick. Couple right hands from Cyborg. Holly Holm clinches Cyborg up, presses her against the cage. Interesting. Not doing much, just seems to tie up. Not liking to do much, though. Yo, come on, Holly. We know what you're doing right now. Yo, Holly Holm's going to make it a very ugly fight. Prepare for that, everyone. Prepare for a lot of clinching. A lot of attempts to slow down the pace, slow down the fight. You know, try to tire out Cris Cyborg, make her go into later rounds. Look for that. Left hand. I don't know if that left straight from Holly Holm landed, but I'll give her credit. Shout out to Iron Sal in the chat. What up? Left hand by Holly Holm lands. Cyborg needs to counter those little attempts by Holm to get some offense off. You know, when Holly Holm comes and goes, yeah. You know, like that's when Cyborg needs to you know, slip it, throw a hook, throw an uppercut, tie up, you know, switch levels, go for a takedown, do something else, you know, counter that, you know. Right there. Good right hand by Cris Cyborg. That's what she needs to do. Holly Holm needs to make sure that she's not inside of the outside foot of Cris Cyborg. And she needs to move her head after she throws that left hand. The second she throws that left hand, she needs to move her head and reestablish position, reestablish distance. Because if she throws that left hand, good right hook by Cris Cyborg. If she lands that left hand, she's in range of Cris Cyborg. Absolutely. So she's going to have to move immediately afterwards. Good right hand from Cris Cyborg, followed up with the left hook. That's what I'm talking about. Every time Holly Holm darts in, she is vulnerable. She is deeply vulnerable. Her head movement stays on the center line. She's easy to catch. That's how Valentina Shevchenko got off on her. That's how Jermaine Duraname got off on her. That's how you get your shots off on Holly Holm. Is that those mistakes that she does when she darts in. Faster J is saying TBV remixed. Yes, what up? How you doing? Tariq Tahan saying awesome breakdown. Thank you, man. Where's Ness? Ness is I believe with the family. You know, it's the holidays. It's it's day before New Year's. You know, he's with his kids, you know. I understand. It's okay. Holly Holm lands a left hand, but Cyborg counters after it. Good knee to the body as they tie up. Holly Holm again tying up, almost running Cyborg to the cage just to get some breathing time. It looks like not really trying to establish anything. Somebody asking in the chat what happened in the Khabib Barboza fight. Well, you can always just you know, take the scroll back the show and listen back. But Khabib definitely won. Unanimous decision, easy. Holly Holm trying to land some kicks at the end of the round. Superman punch from Cris Cyborg. Interesting round. Definitely the output, and this is going to be a common theme throughout this fight. The output's going to be there from Holly Holm. It's all about effective. Is it effective? Is it landing? Is it doing anything? Well, Cris Cyborg is throwing a lot less. You can say that the percentage-wise, effectively, she is being a lot more effective. Her overhand right, overhand lefts are landing consistently, I would say. So I mean, I have to say Cris Cyborg won that round 10-9. But I can see, again, how someone may think Holly Holm won that round. But again, maybe go back and watch it. Look at what's landing. Just not what's being thrown. You have to ignore what's just being thrown. Oh, what a right hand from Cris Cyborg. They're showing some highlights right now. Brutal. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Oh my goodness, I have a soundboard. I should play like a soundbite for you. But the round's starting. I can do it after. I'm sorry. I'll do it after. Do I think Cris Cyborg, to answer your question, do I think Cris Cyborg can get tired in the later rounds? Maybe, but I've seen her go late rounds in Muay Thai. I've seen her go late rounds in other MMA fights. Going the later rounds has never been to me a huge concern of Cris Cyborg. I think that's a I understand why there's a thought there, but you have to think about this. Who's doing more right now in the fight? Who is actively moving their body more? Who is exercising their body more in this fight? Regardless of being effective, it is Holly Holm. Cris Cyborg is being very conservative with their energy, only throwing when needing to, and keeping it to 2 to 3 punch combinations. To me, that's how you keep your cardio intact. Am I watching the match right now? Yes, it's right there. Come on. Cris Cyborg again, like she's been doing this whole minute of the fight. We're at the 3 minute and 50-second mark if you want to sort of sync up of the second round. Cyborg landing those counters over these darting combinations of Holly Holm and the jab of Holly Holm. Another thing that Holly Holm can't be doing is throwing those leg kicks. You notice her not doing it as much. There's a reason why. Great roundhouse kick to the body from Cris Cyborg. That's another weapon that a lot of people were not picking up. That Cyborg's kicks are some of her most effective offensive game. You know, for all the things that we want to get big up Holly Holm for, Cris Cyborg can do that. And she's younger, more in her prime. Come on. Who won the first round? Cris Cyborg won the first round, in my opinion, but Holly Holm threw more. Cris Cyborg landed more. That's the basic description of the fight so far. Holly Holm ties her up, pushes her to the cage to try to take a breather. Again, not trying to work any sort of grappling, not trying to work any sort of strikes in there. Purely doing it to get a breather and reestablish distance and the center of the cage. She's back to the center of the cage. She broke off from the clinch. Cyborg just walking her down. She can just do this. Cyborg can just walk her down, lands a huge right elbow counter as Holly Holm darts in. Again, every time Holly Holm wants to initiate some offense, there's some sort of counter coming her way. Another right hand by Cris Cyborg. Rinse and repeat. You can do that all night. Faster J. I gotta say this just because it's funny. It's strange watching this without Matt getting cut off by Ness. Matt getting his minutes in. Thumbs up. Yeah, right. I'm telling you, Ness cuts me off, man. But shout out to Ness. He couldn't be here. Good counter by Cris Cyborg again. Holly Holm ties up. Get a breather. I wonder if she thinks she's getting any points from this. I hope she knows that she's not. She's not even going for a takedown. Not going for any sort of knees. Oliver Stone, do not spam in the chat or I will block you. Saying who won. The fight's not over yet. It is the second round, a minute left in the second round. Cyborg is so far winning the fight, I would say. Landing the better shots, you know, being more, I would say, aggressive, being more effective as well. I'm shocked the ref has not warned her about this because it is so blatantly just to stall the fight. There's nothing that is effective about that. Another roundhouse kick to the body by Cris Cyborg. Starting to land that at will. Cyborg's best weapons, along with Holly Holm's, are available because of the southpaw orthodox dynamic. Right hand by Cris Cyborg lands. Another knee as Holly Holm clinches up again. I have it 2-0 right now. Has Holly landed any significant damage? Someone asking in the chat. No, I would say no. I would say no, she has not. I would say Holly has at most stalled out the offense at times, and at most landed some shots here and there, but nothing of significance. And whenever she tries to initiate offense, she gets countered, I would say, consistently. Holly Holm definitely needs to adapt right now and change it up. Maybe stick to single shots and just work the outside, you know, stop darting in as much and opening yourself up. You know, be a little bit more reserved and methodical with your offense instead of, you know, going ba 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 ba. You know, so instead of darting in, you got to be a little more relaxed and just stay on the outside. You know, almost wait for Cyborg to come to you in a sense. You know, that may not be what she wants, but this be on your back foot, then darting in with your head up and on the center line is going to continually get you hit. And she's already swelling up. It's the beginning of the third round, the 4-minute and 45-second mark if you want to sync up on podcast. Cris Cyborg darting out of a high kick from Holly Holm. Cyborg has the underhooks right now against the cage. I'm interested to see what she does with it. Good knees to the body. Remember, if you want to call in to the show and give you an immediate reaction, add Mixed Combat Radio on Skype. You have to add before you get on the show. It is the third round. 3-minute and 45-second mark. Cris Cyborg counters Holly Holm as Holly Holm darts inside again. You know, people may think that Cris Cyborg is being a little bit too lackadaisical in her approach. But again, I think she's being the more methodical one, which I think is probably the better approach when you're facing, when there's two elite strikers in MMA. Who's ever the more methodical and more, I don't say reserved, but sticks to the game plan more. And just works on, you know, 3 things that they know they can do very well, that they can beat the other person with, they're usually going to win. The person that's trying to do a lot is usually getting tired, is usually just trying to work out of things, you know. Is Holm kicking at all? No, not really. I would say, I mean, she does. It's usually either blocked or it misses. Whenever she's thrown a leg kick early on, she was getting countered. So she's basically stopped that completely, I would say. I would say Holly is just darting in with a combination of punches and usually getting countered with a right hand or left hook from Cris Cyborg. Occasionally landing her left hand as well, obviously. But it seems very sloppy in a sense. I'm not gonna say sloppy, but it seems Holly Holm is just trying to throw shots instead of trying to work a game plan, land offense, while Cyborg is hunting her down and landing. Holly Holm circling around, missing a lot of shots, but throwing a lot of shots out there, try to keep Cyborg off of her. Cyborg content with just either, you know, pairing shots, you know, stepping a little bit out of range, or coming in with a counter and just slowly just walking her down, pressuring her, tying her out, making Holm run around the cage. Good roundhouse kick by Cris Cyborg, lands to the body. Good leg kick by Holly Holm. Won the first after a 1-2. That missed. Right hand up top by Cris Cyborg lands. Question mark kick from Holly Holm misses. Attempted clinch, but Cyborg gets out of that. 1 minute left in the round. More like 45 seconds. Right hand right kick misses from Cris Cyborg. Left high kick from Holly Holm gets deflected. Another one gets caught, and Cris Cyborg attempts to take down. Gets defended pretty well by Holly Holm, I will have to admit, but she does eat some knees in the clinch. They are separated and in the center of the ring right now. Kick to the knee of Cris Cyborg. Left hand lands by Holly Holm. Roundhouse kick to the body on Holly Holm by Cris Cyborg. Right hand by Cris Cyborg lands and gets a smile. Oh, Superman punch flurry by Cris Cyborg. Wow. If there was another 15 seconds right there, we could have seen the end of the fight. Holly Holm was definitely hurt towards the end right there. Cris Cyborg smelled blood right there, and she was about to light up Holly Holm on the feet. She was starting to throw an eight-piece combo at her. Wow. It's the end of the third round going into the fourth. I have it 3-0 for Cris Cyborg, 30-27 so far. If you're watching this right now, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, tell a friend, share the show. Go to patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio to support the channel. But man, Holly Holm got caught with a Superman punch, got caught with some hooks. Ooh. 2-1 is completely acceptable. Paulo Thomas in the chat saying Cyborg 2-1. Yeah, the first round was close. Ooh, that right hand, good knee to the body. They're showing some replays right now. Yeah, Holly Holm got hurt a little bit, got touched up there towards the end. Holly Holm is bleeding, swelled up. She looks flustered. Beginning of the fourth round, 4-minute and 50-second mark. If you wanted to sync up on the podcast, Cris Cyborg, to me, is starting to smell blood. Lands a beautiful jab. Throws another jab. That's interesting. You know she's going to start throwing more offense and more right hands if she's starting to throw the jab out there, because that's just a setup shot. Right hand by Cyborg lands pretty good. Good left hand by Holly Holm. Left high kick by Holly Holm misses. Cyborg getting just out of distance of it, as she has been throughout the night. Jumping knee kick. A bad at camera angle by Cris Cyborg to the body. Kind of landing, kind of glancing. Good right hand by Cris Cyborg. Oh, another right hand by Cris Cyborg. That seemed to stop Holly Holm in her tracks. These shots seem to be starting to affect Holly Holm a little bit differently right now. Good left kick to the body by Cris Cyborg. Holly Holm throws a 1-2. Cris Cyborg slips both shots, deflects a high kick from Holly Holm. Holly Holm not able to land really anything as effective as Cris Cyborg right now. Good high kick by not Holly Holm, Cris Cyborg that lands. Good right hand by Cris Cyborg again. She's laying that right hand at will at this point. 3 minutes left to go in the fourth round, ladies and gentlemen. Cris Cyborg is just dominating at this point and really showing she's a class above a lot of these women in terms of striking right now, and just power. You know, she's an Anthony Joshua, Earl Spence type. you know, where she's going to come in and just beat you up. Wow. Holly Holm trying to throw some offense, trying to come in with combinations, not being able to land anything of almost anything at all or anything of note. Throws a left high kick again, gets deflected again though. High kick by Cris Cyborg partially gets deflected. Right hand by Cris Cyborg again, dominating at this point, picking her apart. Steep kick to the body by Cris Cyborg. Cris Cyborg seems dialed in too. She's taking this round a little bit off in a sense, and just picking her shots. I think that was smart. I think her corner probably told her, "Hey, don't go for that knockout. Don't rush it. We know you sensed it at the end of that third round. Just work her. Just work her. You're good. You're good. You're doing exactly what you needed to do to win the fight." Holly Holm clinched her, pressed up against the cage right now, doing nothing, trying to get a breather. A minute and 20 seconds left in the fourth round. They break off. Cyborg comes out running at Holly Holm, lands a 1-2. Both ladies missing high kicks. Holly Holm attempts a left, or I should say right hook. Cyborg attempts a right hook counter. Both miss. 50 seconds left in the round. Holly Holm attempts a right hand left kick that misses. Jab by Cris Cyborg lands. Hard thudding jab. Another one. Another left high kick just gets deflected from Holly Holm. Another good jab. She's slipping these shots now. Almost toying with her in a sense. Having fun. Wow. Cyborg is having a field day here, ladies and gentlemen. This is, even the people that thought Cyborg was going to win, I don't think that they thought she was going to outclass Holly Holm in this fashion in the stand-up. You know, wow. I have every round right now for Cris Cyborg 4-0. You know, heading into the fifth and final round of this women's featherweight fight in the UFC. UFC 219, Cyborg versus Holm. Remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend and tell a friend, share the show. Go to patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio to support, or go to amcreditrepair.com if you want to get your credit right, get your credit back in the 700s. Your satisfaction 100% guaranteed, or your money back, and use the promo code Thaboxingvoice if you want to do that and get your life right. Heading into the final fifth round of the fight, Holly Holm bruised, bloodied, swollen, pacing. Fight beginning, round beginning, I should say, 4-minute and 50-second mark if you want to sync up. Holly Holm doing a lot of the same thing. Jab, left high kick. 1-2, left high kick. 1-2. 1-2-3. 1-1. You know, like it's the same things over and over again. She's jumping in when she does it. Cyborg's just stepping out of range just slightly, or countering her, ducking and countering, slipping her and countering her. You know, this is a flying attempted elbow from Holly Holm. Cyborg clinches up, lands some knees. Cyborg's just dominant at this point. This is a clear win for Cyborg at this point. You know, It's just quite funny. And I'll bring it up after the fight. But remind me to bring up a debate I had with a fellow MMA journalist and media member who told me and argued with me that Cris Cyborg does not have elite striking. Just humorous. Humorous. Good right hand by Cris Cyborg. Good roundhouse kick to the body by Cris Cyborg. Oh, gosh. Ooh, left high kick from Holly Holm almost lands. It might have landed a little bit. Good jab by Holly Holm. Good jab by Cris Cyborg. And 1-2. And she misses 2 high kicks from Holly Holm. Sublime performance. Another roundhouse kick to the body of Holly Holm. Cris Cyborg's kicks have been a huge factor in this fight as well. Another great jab. That jab has been stinging. Good right hand from Cris Cyborg. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fight. The halfway mark of the fight, or of the round, I should say. Inside leg kick from Cris Cyborg. Again, Holly Holm trying to attempt some offense. Misses every shot. I can't wait to see the stats on this. Time left 2 minutes in the final round. I can't wait to see the stats on this fight and see how many shots Holly Holm missed. Because a vast number of them. Oh, good right hand from Cris Cyborg. Rocks Holly Holm's head back. Holly Holm is tough, though. That's the one thing we always have to give credit for Holly Holm. She's always tough. Damn. Hey, you can say to stop riding Cyborg's dick, but let's be honest here. Look at this. If you're not watching, that's your fault. Sorry. Go find a stream. But Cyborg is dominating. And she's bruised up and battered Holly Holm throughout this entire fight, man. Come on. Good 1-2 by Cris Cyborg. You know, Holly Holm lands a body kick and Cyborg just 2 pieces her. Sends her back. Come on, man. I'm sorry. All you Holly Holm pickers and fans need to sit down. She lost. Another 2 right hands from Cris Cyborg. Superman punch from Cris Cyborg. Oh, good combination from Holly Holm. Kind of got Cris Cyborg all pissed off there. She comes at her, throws 2 hard knees to the body, and Holly Holm ties up again. Got her clinch up against the fence. Less than 30 seconds left in the round. More like 20 seconds at this point. Great performance by Cris Cyborg, who will probably get the nod as this fight will go all 5. And Bruce, man, that was some good knees by Cris Cyborg as they exit the clinch. Bruce in the chat, man, there were some lines that on a just it going to a decision that we could have bet on. Damn, we should have. The 5th round is over. The judges have yet to give their verdict. Don't worry, I will have the audio live for you of Bruce Buffer reading out the scorecards and everything, so you guys can hear that. Don't worry about it. Did Condit win? No, Condit did not win. He lost. Yes. I know. Sad day. Some highlights right now of Cris Cyborg just piecing her up. Damn. I would never want to spar with Cris Cyborg, man. I've sparred people that spar Claressa Shields, and damn. They hurt, man. Cris Cyborg looks like she would just beat the fuck out of me. Damn. Yep, Faster J in the chat saying, and still. Yeah, that's what it seems like it's going to be. Let me know, obviously, who thought won the fight, even though I think most people will be probably in unison here that Cris Cyborg won it. she looks spectacular here, and I think this is truly a maybe star-making performance for Cris Cyborg. Did Edson Barboza win? No, he did not. No, he did not. So go Cris Cyborg. That left eye of Holly Holm is all swelled up bad. No, come on, Faster J. Get that shit out of there. Come on. What are you doing? Cyborg versus Mayweather? Come on. Shout out to Tito Ortiz in the corner. Huntington Beach bad boy. I remember one of the first assignments I had for the Boxing Voice, he came into the gym randomly. It was weird. I was not expecting that.
We go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 49-46, 48-47, and 48-47 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Cris Cyborg. Chael Logan will still corral the UFC Women's Featherweight Champion, Cris Cyborg.
I'm here with the winner, Cris Cyborg. First of all, Cris, congratulations on defending your featherweight title and being a woman who is one of the most decorated champions that you've ever faced in your career. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
You know, I say thank you for having Holm. She's an amazing fighter. She's doing really well here. And I say thank you, God, for the opportunity. You know, he's the first in my life. Thank you guys for coming. Show up in a little bit and show my work. You guys gonna love me.
This was an excellent fight because you were tested by a real championship caliber fighter, and you showed why you are the women's featherweight champion. It was a dominant performance, but it leaves the question, what's next for you now?
You know, I would like to fight somebody 145, maybe Megan Anderson, and I would like to fight Australia and have a lot of fans there. And I'm ready for everybody who gonna like put my front.
Well, congratulations on defending your title and an excellent performance. Cris Cyborg, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of UFC 219. Cyborg versus Holm. Let me know what your immediate reaction is to that fight. I'm going to say it. Truly impressive and awesome performance of Cris Cyborg. She put on a masterclass. Outclassed the pseudo elite striker that everyone thought was too good for her, was going to dance around her, and you know, we're comparing this to the Rousey fight. No, this is a very different animal. This is a very different sort of fighter. We're in an all-time great right here in Cris Cyborg, and hopefully with this truly credible and legit opponent, you know, for anyone that wanted to downplay her resume beforehand, you can't downplay it now. She has a person that beat Ronda Rousey. You cannot downplay it now. Let's be honest. Like she said in the post-fight interview, Megan Anderson, that's probably the next fight in the division. Maybe if Amanda Nunes continues to succeed in her division, a super fight between the two could materialize. But I mean, great performance from Cris Cyborg. You know, if oh God, Megan Anderson's next or Amanda Nunes is next, I do not care. I think we are watching greatness, so I'm just going to enjoy every bit of it. And I think that's it, everyone. Everyone have a great, happy New Year. Remember, tomorrow, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, on the Boxing Voice on the Mothership YouTube channel. If you're subscribed to this one or you're on this page right now, head on to the featured channels, and the Boxing Voice is right there, so you can just click it right there if you're not subscribed to TVV already. We're having our 2017 Boxing Awards, Fighter of the Year, Fight of the Year, Upset of the Year, KO of the Year, and Moment of the Year. All 5 of those are going to be the awards that we give out to fighters and moments and etc. So make sure you tune into that tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, before the ball drops. So y'all have a good one, and I'll see you there. Peace.